Time now to go around the country to get the latest recruiting intel. You will hear from national recruiting analysts Tom Loy, Brian Dohn, and our own Blair Angulo. Here's Tom to start off the recruiting roundup.
Thanks, Emily. Let's start with Flowood, Mississippi, Hartfield Academy top 100 safety Bralan Womack. This is 24/7 Sports #1 safety in the class of 2026. Over the weekend, he trimmed his list to 10 finalists, but I want to take it a step further and look at 5 to keep an eye on. You got Ohio State, Alabama, Texas, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame. In fact, I would actually put them in that order 1 through 5 as it stands today. I think the Buckeyes are doing a phenomenal job. Crimson Tide are very much in play. He had a great visit to both Texas schools. And although my 24/7 Sports crystal ball is on Notre Dame, I just don't feel as confident as when he once named them his public leader. Now let's wrap it up with Louisville, Texas, 5-star offensive tackle Michael Fasusi. His commitment is days away. He'll announce his pledge on August 21st. The finalists include Florida, Texas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Oregon. For quite some time, the crystal ball was favoring the Texas Longhorns, but in the end, we think relationships matter more than anything to Fasusi, and he does not have a better relationship across the country than he does with Oklahoma offensive line coach Bill Bedenbaugh. In fact, Jordan Scruggs, Hank South, and I have all changed our crystal ball picks to Oklahoma. We think the Sooners get this one done on August 21st. Now let's hear from national analyst Brian Dohn.
Thank you so much, Tom. And from there, we are going to head to North Atlanta High School in Atlanta. Top 247 defensive lineman Chase Linton. He decommitted from Rutgers on Saturday. Georgia is the school to really track on this one. Ohio State is also involved. Some quick background. Linton committed to Rutgers at the end of an official visit in early June. At the time, it looked like a huge coup for the Scarlet Knights, a talented kid. He then moved into the top 247. Georgia had him on campus before his visit to Rutgers. He did not get to finish his workout. The Bulldogs remained adamant about getting him back on campus before offering him. That took place in July. At the end, there was that week period where prospects could be on campus. He worked out for the Bulldogs. He picked up an offer. He was also back at Rutgers in late July to get another look at the program there. It only seemed like a matter of time before he was going to decommit. Of course, things are tracking Georgia's way. Just look at the crystal ball for that. But Ohio State is also involved in this one. And one thing I've learned over the years about the Buckeyes, when Larry Johnson's the D-line coach, defensive linemen pay close attention to that. So that is something also to keep an eye on. Right now, though, I think things are trending for the Bulldogs. And from there, let's go out west to Blair.
Thanks, Brian. I was in the Salt Lake City area last week to take in the beginning and the start of the high school football season, where I got to see 5-star wide receiver Jerome Myles. He kicked off his senior season in a big way. 4 receptions, 120 receiving yards, including an 80-yard score, and he had a touchdown that was very electric and obviously a big reason why a lot of the programs are pursuing his signature. He has also narrowed his recruitment to a select few. He has 5 schools at the top of his list. It's Georgia, Ohio State, Texas A&M, USC, and Utah. And there is a commitment date as well. I reported earlier today that Jerome Myles intends to commit on October 30th, and that's when he will be holding his announcement there in the Salt Lake City area. I think 2 teams are out in front here. I think it's the Buckeyes and I think it's the Utes battling it out for one of the best playmakers in America. With Ohio State, it's obviously a big thing there with Coach Hartline and what they do at wide receiver. He hasn't been able to get there yet. They are trying to plan out an official visit for a night game. It's difficult for a West Coast prospect to make it out there on a Saturday for a daytime kickoff. So look out for that in the coming weeks for Jerome Myles to potentially plan out a trip to Columbus. And then the Utes are obviously a big contender as well. His former teammate Isaac Wilson being in the quarterback room provides them with a lot of familiarity, and I think he really likes the hometown Utes here down the stretch. Staying in the Salt Lake City area, Austin Pay was another player I got a chance to catch up with at Lone Peak High School before they boarded the buses for their initial game at Bingham. He took official visits in the offseason to Arkansas, BYU, NC State, and Oregon. There are a number of other schools still in contention to get an official during the season. It's Oklahoma, Auburn, A&M, and Utah. He's in no real rush. He wants to make a decision later this year, possibly after the season, maybe narrow his recruiting focus at the midway point of the fall. But right now, I think these are the programs that are jostling for position for Austin Peay, one of the top available offensive linemen out west.
Whew. Just heard Blair say it. High school season off and running, which means you're going to want to keep it locked into 247sports.com. Our team of recruiting experts and analysts have you covered on all the latest news. Check it out at 247sports.com.